or worked together yet, but I liked some of your posts. First of all, I was a kid growing up watching Rocky, the grit, the determination. It's always a Rocky. The first Rocky is amazing. And then what else I liked about you is the multiple streams of income. So, how did that journey start, I guess, Chris? Have you been an entrepreneur all your life, or did you learn from someone, or where did that all begin?
No, I've been entrepreneurial my whole life. I mean, even when I was in like 5th and 6th grade, I remember I was entrepreneurial back then. I was selling basketball and baseball cards to my friends at a spread and selling them on the value of a rookie card based off of his statistics that year. And I was always somewhat of a salesman and just entrepreneurial, right? Very hard headed. Didn't do that well with authority. I hate being told what to do. Very strong-willed as a kid, just a very I had a free spirit, right? And I see that as an entrepreneur, that's a lot of characteristics that I see in other entrepreneurs, right?
Gotcha. So you were kind of born with that toughness, that grit, like, let's get it done and I'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were entrepreneurs. That probably helped. My mom, my dad, my stepdad, they all own their own businesses. And I just told myself, hey, I want to own my own business. I had 6 brothers and sisters that I grew up with, and none of them turned into entrepreneurs besides me. So you would think that just because you have entrepreneurial parents that most of your kids will become entrepreneurs. I have 5 children. I doubt if maybe one of them is entrepreneurial. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for everybody. It's a tough journey, right?
100%. So would you consider yourself, Chris, a solo entrepreneur, or are you multiple serial entrepreneur? What category, I guess, would you?
Well, a solo entrepreneur is somebody who owns his own business, but he has no employees. I mean, I own about 7, 8 different companies. We have just in my real estate company, I have about 12 people that work for me. I own a car wash, quick lube, and mechanic shop. I have another 7, 8 people that work for me in that department. I have a couple people that work in my coaching and consulting company. I have about 22. It ranges between 22 and 24 employees. So I have, a lot of different businesses. So I would call myself a serial entrepreneur, but I'm definitely not a solo entrepreneur.
Yeah. So like Kent was saying yesterday, the difference of that is like you could go away for 2 months and you're still getting paid every time. Versus a solo entrepreneur, they got to be there. They got to turn the wheels. But like you set yourself up where the wheels kind of turn themselves. You just
Absolutely.
Oversee
Absolutely.
it.
I mean, I'm at my beach house in Destin, Florida right now. I'm hanging out at the beaches right there. I've been here for a couple months now, just waiting this thing out. I mean, I'm still making money. I got a closing tomorrow. I had a closing Monday. I had 2 closings last week. I got a bunch of closings next week. The wheel still moves if I don't move, right? Now, the wheel moves faster and harder when I move with it. Don't get me wrong. You always got to have a driver, and I'm that driver. Like, I motivate people, and I push that needle. Further and further. It's harder. I try to get the RPMs in the business up. If you look at business and entrepreneurship like an engine and a vehicle, your job as an entrepreneur is to move the needle, right? I want to rev that engine up. I want to get my team, like you can call the engine your team, right? You got to get the RPMs up and get those guys moving at a faster rate than the average, and you'll get your business moving and generating more income by moving the needle, right?
1,000%. So you went to high school, you graduated. Did you go the college route, or did you just start open up?
I went to college. I graduated high school in 2000. I graduated college in 2005 in business management. I can't say it really taught me a whole lot about business, to be honest with you. I don't, and you may not agree with this, or you guys listening may not agree. I think college is a big scam. You can learn more from mentorship and just entrepreneurs than you can go on and listen to professors in college about business, to be completely honest with you. Now, if you go and specialize, being a nurse, an attorney, a doctor, an engineer, a specialist in something, yeah, you should go to college.
Right.
And I'm not saying don't go to college if you want to get into business, but I'm just telling you, getting information from a professor at a college for business is like getting information from a doctor to tell you about your teeth, right? Right? You know, you go to a dentist. You go to
Yeah.
a dentist for your teeth. You don't go to a doctor, right? And the same, and I'm comparing that for you guys, like you're going to college to get advice from somebody that's learned in a bunch of books about business, but doesn't have the actual, he's good at the theory of it, but he hasn't actually done it. Why wouldn't you get your information from an actual business owner who's in the business, who knows the business? That's why it's very important to be careful where you get your information from, right?
Yeah. It's like you said, I mean, there's so many ways you could get information today. Like we could like YouTube we could YouTube Brent Daniels, we could YouTube Kent Clothier. There's like all these guys that are visible. One of the things I noticed with the younger crews, so I got a lot of 20, 22-year-olds working for me, and most of them have, don't tell my kids this, but have dropped out of college, and they learned their IT stuff, they learned their programming, all from YouTube videos, and I'll put them against anyone that's college educated, and it's just a fact, like some of those skills you could learn without going to college.
Oh, 100%, dude. I mean, we live in the world of information. We got YouTube University right now, which is, I mean, we live in the greatest age right now, the age of information, where at the fingertips, we have whatever we want to learn, we have it at the tip of our fingertips. Dude, college is becoming obsolete. I mean, you could literally, why would you, even for doctors, like you don't have to go to a doctor. You could go on WebMD and put in your symptoms and find out what you have just from WebMD. The world is changing. Like it's changing fast because of technology and information, right? So absolutely. I mean, do you have to go to college? No. Do I advocate college? Unless you're specializing, you don't need to go to college. I would advocate technical college more than I would traditional college to actually learn a skill, like, how to be an electrician, a mechanic, AC, HVAC guy, electrician, plumbing. Those are actual skill sets that need to come back, that you can make a lot of. I know guys that make $500,000 a year that are plumbers, right?
Right.
You can make a lot of money in these specialized skill sets, right? Or learn how to do real estate, like me, right? I mean, it's whatever you want. But I mean, the problem with college is it's a generalized information that doesn't give you a specific skill set. You understand it? It's not like a super specific skill that you learn in college, unless you're specializing, like I said, to be a doctor, attorney, or an engineer or something of that nature. But for the most part, like, dude, you need to get information from somebody that's actually has an exact technology and skill that can help you make a lot of money in that particular industry, not just generalized information.
Yeah, 1,000%. So, Chris, there's a lot of guys struggling right now. I mean, fortunately, I've been through 08, 09, so I do have cash saved, and I'm good right now. But I mean, there's a lot of guys, and a lot of my tenants too, that were, whether they're in the hospitality industry, they're like in a job situation. Now they're not getting their weekly paycheck. I mean, your life, I don't know, what are you doing right now with Corona? Is it changed at all? Or, how's everything been around?
This should be a big wake-up call for everybody, right? That old adage that you could just go to college, get a job, and sail off in the sunset is a big pipe dream. It's a joke. It's not real. This should wake you up, guys, if you're watching this, to get a side hustle or two or three, right? And get into a business that is essential to the economy, right? Like this is a wake-up call for me. Like I'm actually pivoting and starting another business that will be super essential. Because if this may be the norm, guys, every 4 to 5 years, we may have a shutdown in the economy because of a virus. This may be the norm. I hope not. I hope this doesn't happen again. But who knows? If this is the normal, I want to be in food, clothing, water, shelter, right? So I'm starting businesses that are super essential that won't get shut off during a crisis. and I'm looking at, property management, and I'm looking at an HVAC company, maybe starting an HVAC, because no matter if you're stuck in a house, you still need AC and heat. I'm doubling down on my mobile home parks. I have a bunch of mobile home parks. That's affordable housing. I'm going to double down on that. Instead of, having enough reserves for, say, 6 to 8 months, you may want to, I think the average right now, everybody says you need to have at least 3 months of reserves. I think that's a wake-up call for people to you probably need 6 to 8 months of reserves to make it through. Because, it's been 2 months now since Corona happened. And it looks like they're going to open up everything May 1st, hopefully. But still, 2 months. 2 months is a long time, right? I'm able to weather it because I have businesses and I have savings and I have cash flow. But for the most part, 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, right?
Right. So through this whole experience, Chris, you're creating other businesses. So, I've heard a lot of businesses have been created during the recession. Uber, some other big time businesses. So you're thinking now's the time to learn about being an entrepreneur, learn about starting your own business, whether you're starting something small or buying, starting a larger investment HVAC company. So that's what you're advising people right now is to
I'm advising you to start a service-based business company. If you want to be an entrepreneur, I would start a service-based business. That's how I started. I started a business. I had the biggest oil change, quick lube mechanic shop, and auto glass business in my town. I had 4 locations, and I had 33 employees. And I started that out of the back of my truck with $100.
Wow.
Changing oil, washing people's cars. That is going to be the least barriers to entry as far as capital needed, but it's going to require a lot of effort to get it off the ground. But it's doable. And it's the least risky. And when I say service-based business, what do I mean? I talked about this on a Facebook Live last night. Landscaping, lawn service, car wash, painting. What's another service-based business? Window cleaning. Start a service-based business that doesn't require a lot of money if you don't have a lot of money, but it's going to require a lot of time. And do that as your side hustle. When you say, Chris, I got a full-time job, I can't really do that. Hey, sorry, dude. If your full-time job, working 40 hours a week is not a full-time job. That's a part-time job. Like, dude, I work all day, every day, Saturday, Sunday, and that's how I get ahead, right? You get ahead by doing way more than everybody else. If you're working 40 hours a week, dude, you're setting yourself up for failure. So if you're working 8 to 5 every day, you need to be working, 5:30 to 8:30 every day on your side hustle when you get off of work. And you do that long enough till you build up enough capital and you make enough money to where your actual job is making you lose money from your side hustle. That's when you know it's time to quit. Don't go quit your job that has income yet. Do your side hustle, build that up maybe over the next 6 months to a year. It may scale within 2 to 3 months and you can quit your job. Who knows? But you should definitely look at having a side hustle or two. Now, I don't know what the perfect exact side hustle looks like for you. Not everybody can do what I do. Not everybody's meant to do real estate. Not everybody's meant to do landscaping. It's what you feel like you have a unique niche in. Figure out what you're good at or what you like, and try to do that. And people say, "Well, Chris, you got to follow your dreams. You got to follow your if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life." That's all horseshit to me. I started a business out of the back of my truck, washing cars and changing. Oh, you think I love that shit? Hell no, I didn't love that shit. But what I did, I developed a love and passion for it once I started making a lot of money. The money is what will help you develop that love and passion. You could freaking dig ditches, but if you're making $1 million a year digging ditches, I guarantee you'll have a passion for digging ditches, right? And you'll fall in love with it.
1,000%, Chris. So what got you into real estate? Did you learn from a mentor? Did you watch something? Like, what was your first step into buying, selling, wholesale?
My first experience with real estate, I think it was in 2005 or 06. I flipped my first house. It was actually my personal house. It was right after Hurricane Katrina happened. I think that was 06 or 05. I was living in Louisiana in a city called Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, and I had built a house like 3 or 4 years prior to that. And we had seen massive inflation and appreciation the past 3 or 4 years. And Hurricane Katrina hit, and all these people from New Orleans got dispersed from New Orleans to Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Houston, Atlanta, and all these people moved in, and real estate prices went through the roof because supply and demand, right? We didn't have enough supply to meet the demand. And I noticed my house started spiking again, and people were selling their house for like 20 and 30% more than what it was worth. Yeah. And I had enough cognitive awareness. I told my wife, I said, we need to capitalize on this. Let's put our house for sale. So we landscaped the front, repainted a bunch of rooms, cleaned everything up, put it for sale. We sold in 30 days, made $128,000. I was 25 years old. That was my first experience of real estate at 25. I took that money and I invested it into my oil change and quick lube businesses, and I bought my second location with that money. I bought a shop for like almost $900,000 in a really busy location, and I made a lot of money doing that. And then I flipped a few more other properties. I flipped a piece of land. I made $30,000. I took that and bought another shop, and then I flipped a foreclosure that I lived in for like 18 months. I made a bunch of money on that, and I bought another shop. So I rolled over all the profits I made from real estate and put it into my business, right? Now, prior to that, I invested a lot of money into my own personal development. I've always invested money back into my greatest asset, which is your greatest asset too, which is who? You. It's not real estate. It's not business. It's you are your greatest asset. You need if you don't have any money, or if you're like, man, I want to do something, but I have no money. Dude, you can read books. You can get around the right people. You can go to seminars for really cheap. You need to get the skills sets you need to become an entrepreneur and become a real estate investor first. That's primary, right? The basic foundation of being a business owner or even a really good real estate investor is becoming personally developed enough to handle being an entrepreneur and a real estate investor, because it's so hard to make it through the ups and downs of being a real estate investor or an entrepreneur. If you're not personally developed enough to handle that, you're going to quit. You're going to quit fast. Why you think the fail rate of entrepreneurship is 90%? It's actually probably 95%. Most people can't hack it. Wow. They can't. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the wherewithal. They don't have enough personal, just overall wherewithal to make it through how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. I've almost went bankrupt twice. I've had nervous breakdowns, especially in my early 20s. Yeah, dude, this is the third crash I've been through. 2008 we had a crash, and in 2014 we had an oil and gas crash in the South, in Louisiana and Texas, where oil went from $125 a barrel to $25 a barrel. Almost lost everything right there too. That's some really sobering and humbling experiences, but you come out of that wiser, you come out of that more disciplined, you come out of that more educated, and there's no mentor that could show you that. But most people would quit and just give up and fold. And I just look at it as, hey, I'm just learning a massive lesson right now. You never lose, you only learn, guys. And if you are personally developed enough to handle all that, you'll make it on the other side, a better you.
That's great advice. So, I wanted to quit many times, but like, what am I going to do if I quit? There's no way I would quit doing what I'm doing. I could get a 9 to 5, but that's like throwing in the towel. Like, why would I do that? Like, you got to bet on yourself, like you said. So I love that attitude about you. So is real estate your main source, or are you doing the other businesses, Chris?
Real estate is my main source of income. We own about $20 million in real estate right now, between mobile home parks, apartments, and a few single family homes, and we have 3 short-term vacation rentals on the beach. We do a ton of wholesaling and flipping in 4 states. I have a consulting company where I teach people what I do. I have a quick lube car wash mechanic shop I still own. But real wholesaling and wholesaling and flipping are probably my main source of income. And then my next source of best income is probably my consulting company. And then my third is probably my mobile home parks for cash flow. And that's pretty much where all of my money comes from.
Yeah. So I love it. You got multiple streams there. If one shuts down or slows, you got other cash coming in. What the next 6 to 12 months, what are you seeing out there with Corona, with everything going on? Is your business, your approach going to differ from the past 6 to 12 months before we hit the corona? Because I know for myself, I was on massive acquisition. Like I was buying everything I saw, flipping. My model has changed a little. It has changed because I'm not, in that seat buying every day. It's long-term rentals I'm picking up right now cheap, but
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I don't know if my criteria changed. Like I was always super conservative in what I bought. If I can't steal it, I'm not buying it. I've been through 2 crashes. I know what it's like. I felt the pain. I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars before, and I felt that pain. So I don't care how good the economy is. I'm always super conservative in my buying criteria. So I don't know if I'd necessarily change. I know there's gonna be more opportunities because a lot of people over leveraged and a lot of people overbought. Whereas I stayed very conservative in the sense that, like, if I couldn't steal it, I didn't buy it. So I don't know if I would change anything. I probably will be buying more because there's going to be more opportunities out there, especially on the multifamily mobile home park side. I love mobile home parks.
yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot more opportunity on the wholesaling too. Let me say, I will be making an adjustment in my wholesaling and flipping business. I won't be flipping as many properties. We'll probably be wholesaling a lot more. We usually wholesale about 60% of our properties and wholesale 20% and flip the other 20. That'll probably go to 80-20. We'll probably wholesale 80% of the properties and only wholesale. And if you don't know what a wholesale, it's not a flip, it's not a wholesale, it's kind of an in between, right? And I'll do more of that. I'll do a lot less of that along with the flipping and just do more wholesaling until the economy rebounds.
100%. So final question, like for myself, I meet with my mentors, my masterminds. You got mentors, mastermind groups you're staying in tune with yourself to, help you grow to the next level. Everyone's different, of course, as far as where they're at, whether they're starting, whether they're at your pace, my pace. So do you have those guys around you that you're working with, meeting with weekly? How does that look?
You're asking me if I'm meeting with my mentors? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, your mentors, your masterminds. Are you still staying in touch with those guys right now, like in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking with people that I respect and I value their opinion, but I don't have a full blown mentor. That I usually get a mentor every couple of years that I feel like I need help with, and I've been so focused on real estate that I've hired a bunch of mentors for real estate. So I don't necessarily feel like I need more help in that space, but I will be hiring a mentor here soon for maybe a different business. Like guys, in school, when you went to school, you couldn't cheat, right? You get in trouble for cheating. The good thing about business is you can cheat and you can ask people for help. So when I get into a new business, I don't try to figure it out myself. Like I buy my way into it, or I cheat my way into it in a sense that I buy my knowledge, right?
Right.
So, when I look at starting this new company, I'm gonna probably start this HVAC company. I'm probably gonna buy, I'm gonna hire somebody that has a huge company and who has a lot of experience in the HVAC business. That would probably be my next hire. But no, I haven't hired anybody lately because I've hired tons of people to get me where I'm at right now. And you get to a point where you don't need to keep hiring more mentors in the space that you're already in, right?
Right. But yeah, like you said, cut the curve. Like I could go out and Chris, cut the curve. Like pay for that HVAC guy that's a pro. Like that makes life much easier than you going out and trying to do it all from scratch. I mean, that's just stupidity. So surrounding yourself with top guys and top industry, whatever you want to do, that's what the show's for. Like cut the curve. You guys could go YouTube, do all that, but like listen to the experts, do what they're doing, but not only that, get in touch with them. So I don't know, do you have a way, like people are listening right now, they're interested, is there a course or is there a live that you're doing where they could reach out to you, Chris?
Yeah, they can go to chrisrood.com. I got a lot of free resources there. They can pick up my free ebook. They can pick up my course. I'm running a huge special on my course I've been selling for $500 for the past 5 years. It's discounted to $200, and it's got everything from personal development to mindset to wholesaling, flipping, wholetailing, raising private money to entrepreneurial skill sets you're going to need. You know, this is the time right now. If you are just sitting around doing nothing, watching TV all day and eating a bunch of potato chips, dude, get you a course. There's a lot of people. Every coaching and mentoring right now is at wholesale prices. Everybody's discounted their prices, so you should probably look at that course you wanted to go through, or that mentorship, dude. Go and invest in that at a discount. Yes, that's all on my website, Juice. I'll post the website right here, but I've got a bunch of free content on YouTube also that you can go on, and I got a free ebook, thesourceofthedeal.com. I'll post the link to the free book right here too, that you can pick up and read. It's a free ebook. It doesn't cost you anything. I'll give it away to you, and it'll get you started, and it'll show you the power of real estate investing, especially starting off with wholesaling, right?
And all this is free. That's the thing that amazes me. Like, I give free calls, 30 minutes. You know, we got a lot of callers, but like, it's free, man. Go check out Chris's stuff, because that alone will inspire, have them take action. Hopefully, like, you could provide it all, but they gotta want it more than you want it for them. So